your independent voice. Together, we make it heard. Welcome to Independent Voice. We believe in the power of independent thinking, where truth triumphs over negativity, and where your voice can spark change. Join us as we explore the vibrant tapestry of independent voices and open minds, united by a shared goal: to inspire ourselves and others to think, speak, and act with independence and courage. At IV, we are dedicated to amplifying voices that often go unheard. Whether you're here to be informed, contribute, or find inspiration, your voice is vital in shaping the conversation. Together, we can illuminate pathways to a paradigm shift towards independent thinking and strong perspectives. Independent Voice, where authenticity meets integrity, harnessing thoughts and igniting change. Subscribe now and unleash the power of your independent voice. Our goal is to make a difference that lasts. Let's put forth our will behind truth and integrity.
Nigeria's silent church, the cost of ignored persecution. Tonight, we return to a crisis the world still chooses to overlook. Christians murdered, churches razed, an entire village erased in Nigeria. This is not history. It is happening now, this month, this week. We'll all look at the facts, hear the silence, and ask, where are the voices that claim to stand for justice? Governments, media, and yes, even the global church. I am Mummy, and this is Independent Voice. Nigeria, Africa's most populous nation, is again bleeding. According to the United States Commission on International Religious Freedom, violence continues to surge across the Northeast and Middle Belt, flooded by jihadist groups, armed militias, and criminal networks. On October 14, 2025, Fulani militants attacked Christian villages in Plateau State, killing 13 people, including children, and burning homes to the ground. Earlier this month, Boko Haram struck the Christian community of Wagamongoro, killing 4 believers and destroying their church. In June, the Yelawata massacre in Benue State left between 100 and 200 Christians dead, displacing more than 3,000 people overnight. Each story has different numbers, but the same pattern. Christian villages targeted, survivors silenced, justice absent. Let's take a look at the data behind the tragedy. According to Open Doors 2025 World Watch List, Nigeria remains the deadliest country on earth for Christians. A report by Intersociety, released this August, claims that in the first 220 days of 2025, more than 7,000 Christians were killed and nearly 8,000 abducted, an average of 32 deaths per day. The same report documents more than 19,000 churches and Christian institutions attacked or destroyed since 2009. Meanwhile, data from the Armed Conflict Location and Event Data Project, an independent conflict tracking project, records 385 targeted attacks on Christians between 2020 and 2025, resulting in at least 317 deaths. The number differ, but the direction is the same: violence rising, accountability declining, churches and clergy under fire. According to a Catholic news agency, more than 250 Catholic priests and about 350 pastors of other denominations have been attacked or kidnapped this year alone. In Enugu State, Father Matthew Eya was shot and killed while returning to his parish. In Benue and Plateau, churches have been torched during Sunday worship. Congregants flee into the bush, singing hymns as bullets rain. The intention is unmistakable: to terrorize, to displace, and erase the people of faith. Analysts identify several factors. The Islamic State West Africa province a faction that broke from Boko Haram in 2015, wages ideological war on both the Nigerian state and Christian communities. Fulani militants operate through the Middle Belt, blending religious extremism with land and power struggles. Bandit groups kidnap for ransom, often targeting pastors and churchgoers. Different motives, one result: devastated Christian communities. Government response and impunity. The Nigerian government insists the crisis is criminal, not religious.
We are tired to be outside performing burial every day, and they expect us to silence. Nigerian government came out openly and denied there is no massacre, there is no genocide of Christians in Nigeria, and look at it today. Is there any Muslim here? United Nations, I know you're watching it. American Senate, you are watching what I'm doing, I'm saying here. Special advisor to Trump, now, please tell Trump to save our life in Nigeria. They are killing Christians in Nigeria, massacre Christians. If they say they kill Muslims, Muslims are being killed. By who? By Muslims.
According to the U.S. Commission on International Religious Freedom's 2025 report, security failure, delayed prosecution, and impunity remains widespread. The Christian Association of Nigeria has called for an independent international inquiry into mass killings and forced displacements. In Washington, lawmakers such as Senator Ted Cruz urge the United States to redesignate Nigeria as a country of particular concern for several violations of religious freedom. However, Nigerian officials reject the label, but facts on the ground, burned churches, abducted clergy, and grieving families speak louder than politics.
Nigerian government came out openly and denied there is no massacre, there is no genocide of Christians in Nigeria, and look at it today.
Why so little media attention? Why don't we hear more about this? Because large-scale massacres make temporary headlines, but the slow, relentless killings rarely break through. Reporters face danger, editors fear oversimplification, and audiences go numb. Still, as Genocide Watch and Washington Post analysts note, underreporting doesn't mean it isn't happening. Complexity cannot be an alibi for silence. Pan-African responsibility and Christian solidarity. To my Pan-African brothers and sisters, if our dream of African dignity means freedom, justice, and self-determination, then it must include our people of faith dying silently in Nigeria. True Pan-Africanism cannot condemn colonial oppression while ignoring religious extremism within our own borders. When a Christian village burns in Plateau, when a priest is executed in Enugu, when children hide in the bush in Benue, these are African tragedies, not just Christian ones. Liberation means nothing if we defend it selectively. We speak against imperialism, yet remain quiet about the killings of believers next door. If Pan-Africanism is about unity and the value of African life, that value includes the Christian farmer, the displaced widow, the priest, and the child. And to every Christian, Catholic, Protestant, Pentecostal, Orthodox, Evangelical, Persecution against one part of the body weakens us all. The pain of one church should pierce every conscience. If your faith is alive, your silence cannot be. So what can be done? Policymakers, push for transparent investigations, targeted sanctions, and redesignation of Nigeria for severe religious freedom violations. Churches and faith networks, issue public statements of solidarity, support trauma care, safe schooling, and reconstruction programs through credible Nigerian partners. Media and creators, keep reporting, keep verifying, keep amplifying. And for viewers, share survivor testimonies, support reputable relief organizations, and challenge silence wherever you see it. Remember their names. Father Matthew Eya of Inagu, the 13 souls of Palatu, including the 6-year-old child, the hundreds of victims of Yelawata, whose only crime was gathering to worship. These are not statistics. They are sons and daughters of Africa, believers who sang hymns while their homes burned. I am Mamme, and this is Independent Voice. Persecution anywhere is a warning everywhere. If your church has not yet spoken about the suffering of Christians in Nigeria, let this be the moment you begin. Speak, share, and pray. Because their silence is not divine, it's by design. And breaking that silence is our calling. Remember, use your voice to make a difference and to never ever silence others. Until next time, level up.